Let's take a quick dash back to the story from Edo State about the suspension, the controversy around the suspension of some dukes by the Oba of Benin. To discuss and give us a little more perspective is a former Commissioner for Information in Edo State, Andrew Emwanta. Thank you very much, Andrew, for joining us.
Yeah. Good evening. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. And good evening to our viewers at home.
Tell us, as one who understands the culture of the people of Edo State, where does the powers of the Oba of Benin start and where does it end?
Yeah, thank you. As it is properly said, you have two kingdoms in the world. You have the United Kingdom and the Benin Kingdom. The Benin people, of whom I'm part of, regard our Oba as somebody who has a divine right, and I think it flows from the divine rights theory proposed by Henry VIII, the King of England. And as such, as Benins, we owe the Oba our allegiance. His dukes are his subjects, and he has the power to appoint them. And I think the conundrum is that the Edo State government wants to engage the Oba, the palace of the Oba of Benin, as it relates to the suspension order the Oba placed on two of his dukes, who the Oba, in his wisdom, thought were challenging his authority, because some time ago, I think that was last year, the Edo State government came up with a policy to balkanize the kingdom by reducing the Oba's power as the chairman of the Benin Traditional Council, by allowing the dukes who are his subjects to now head their various domains under the various the local governments we have in Edo South. And of course, we know that that was a political move, being the fallout of the artifact issue, because the federal government said it is the Oba of Benin that has right over the custody of the artifacts. And of course, the Edo State government did not find that palatable. And as a fallout, he needed to engage the palace by reducing the powers of the Oba of Benin. And he came up with a policy under the Edo State's, the defunct Edo State Traditional Rulers and Chiefs Law. So for us, we find that very distasteful that the Edo State government will sponsor, these same two dukes that were suspended by the Oba, through litigation in court. The Oba,
yeah, but the governor, except I misunderstood. I thought the governor has come up to say they're not having, that it is them that is suing, or is it could you explain how the government is in court and why the governor has to come out and make a clarification?
Nothing can be further from the truth. It's just like the proverbial saying of the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau. So essentially, the Edo State government is just trying to play, the Edo State government under Obaseki is trying to play a cat and mouse game. We know what is playing out. And that is why, if you notice yesterday in Benin City, Edo people, the Benins came all out in support of their king. And I think the Edo State government should quickly do the needful. They should advise those dukes to withdraw that case against the Oba, because the Oba is our king and we regard it very well. And any attempt to disrespect our monarch will be resisted by the Benin people.
Let's see if we can trace anything back to history. Has such a scenario ever occurred in the Benin Kingdom where dukes, in this case, are taking the Oba to court? And what was the scenario and how was it resolved?
Yeah, it appears to be a novelty. It has never happened before. And what is not a novelty is the fact that in 2016, a whole lot of people, including the then Oba, they saw that this present governor would challenge the Oba's authority. I don't want to go back into history, what happened with Oba Ewuare, but for us, we feel that it is totally unacceptable. First, the governor went into a feud with the Benin royal family over the issue of ownership of the artifacts, and the Buhari government ruled in favor of the Oba of Benin. And I think the governor is not comfortable with this because he's building a private museum with public funds, which of course goes against what the Oba said when he ascended the throne in 2016, that he wants to have a Benin Royal Museum. So I think this position calls of the Obaseki-led government with the Oba of Benin is not very good, particularly as the election gets closer. His own candidates will not find this funny at all. I saw the reaction they made. But the Benin will protect the image of our culture, because the Oba is the face of our culture.
All right, Andrew. I'm sure if we also get the
Benin man, and is the head of the Benin church called the Holy Orasa. So the Benin people, they see the Oba as their spiritual leader, they see him as their traditional ruler, they see him as their father, they see him as their king.
I'm sure if you get somebody from the governor's camp,
that's as a subject, even if he's governor of the state, they must respect the Oba of Benin, and forthwith they should desist from every attempt to bring the Oba's position and office to disrepute.
All right, I'm sure we'll also make an attempt to reach out to the governor's office and see what their response would be. I'm sure if you ask them, they might have something contrary to maybe some of your submissions. But we thank you very much for providing further insight on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.